warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I do hope today we are fine. First of all, praise and gratitude we say to the presence of Almighty God because He will attend somehow to our activities as usual. Before we start our presentation about language production in psycholinguistics, we are going to introduce ourselves. My name is Khairunnisa Tambunan and my friends are.
My name is Suci Lestari
and my name is Naziihah, Amiiroh.
Okay, we start our presentation. Okay, the first slide you can see language production. As we have discussed, comprehenders must map the spoken or written input onto entries in the mental lexicon and must generate various levels of syntactic, semantic, and conceptual structure. In language production, people are faced with the converse problem. They must map from a conceptual structure to words and their elements. In this section, we first discuss how people produce single words and then turn to the production of longer utterances. Our discussion will concentrate on spoken language production, which has been the focus of most of the research on language production. We will then consider how the representations and processes involved in writing differ from those involved in speaking access to single words in spoken language production. The following processing step, morphophonological encoding, begins with the retrieval of the morphemes corresponding to the selected lemma. For the lemma baby, there is only one morpheme to retrieve, but for grandson or work, two morphemes must be retrieved. Okay, the next slide. The phonological representation of a word is abstract in that it consists of discrete, non-overlapping segments which define static positions of the vocal tract or states of the acoustic signal to be attained, and in that the definitions of the segments are independent of the context in which they appear. However, actual speech movements overlap in time, and they are continuous and context-dependent.
Okay, I will continue our discussion, and the next slide is about generation of sentences in spoken language production. We will now consider how speakers generate longer utterance, such as description of scans or events. The first step is again conceptual preparation, deciding what to say. Evidently, conceptual preparation is more complex for longer than for shorter utterances. Evidence for the distinction between functional and positional process comes from the finding that some speech errors. As we have noted, grammatical encoding begins with the assignment of lemmas to grammatical functions. Many verbs such as give, listens, more than one syntactic structure, speed, sentence production experiments carried out by Ferreira show that the alternative syntactic structure associated with verb lemmas don't compete with each other but instead represent different options for generating sentence. And next is about written language production. Many of the steps in production of written language are similar to those in the production of spoken language. A major difference is that once a lemma and its morphological representation have been accessed, it is the orthographic rather than the phonological form that must be retrieved and product. A number of the same issues that were raised earlier about the derivation of phonology from orthography in reading arise with respect to the derivation or orthography from phonology in spelling. Writing differs from speaking in the writers often have more time available for conceptual preparation and planning.
Okay, now about the conclusion. Based on our presentation about our topic, we can see that it is clear that language production is strongly driven by the mental lexicon. When listeners hear utterance, they rapidly map the speech streams onto entries in the lexicon. As each word is identified, semantic and syntactic information becomes available. This information is immediately used to begin constructing the syntactic structure and meaning of the utterance. Similarly, when speakers generate utterance, they select words from the lexicon. Each word brings with it syntactic and morphological properties, and these properties are taken into account when additionally words are chosen. A theory based on analysis by synthesis is probably not appropriate for syntactic comprehension, but there may be strong similarities between the routines involved in parsing and those involved in grammatical encoding in language production.
Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.